Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Edwin Pierce. While the Idol World Tour visited and toured the demilitarized zone, the Idols also performed in front of troops. Specialist Sarah Herring takes us to the concert where the soldiers came face to face with the reality TV stars.
As U.S. service members, we are all too familiar with being away from our loved ones. And we all know that it's the little things that remind us of home. Which is why the TV stars from the Idols World Tour brought the U.S. troops stationed in Korea the gift of song.
Performing in front of soldiers was life-changing. It really was. Just seeing their faces as we were singing, it just looked like we brought home to them. For them to see us sing, songs that they're familiar with, it truly brought tears to my eyes.
There's bills that I can't pay.
Singing in front of the U.S. troops and rock soldiers meant a lot to the Idols, in particular for Idol John Wayne Schultz.
It's very surreal for me to be able to perform for these soldiers because I have such a long history of my family being in the military, all the way from the Civil War, every generation till now. I know the sacrifices that are made, and it means a lot to me to give back to them.
It's an experience that not only left soldiers coming face to face with TV stars, but idols meeting their own idols as well. Specialist Sarah Herring, Joint Security Area, Korea.
The tour takes the Idols across the peninsula, Japan, and then to Guam. CrossFit instructors helped advance the 8th Army's and 2nd Infantry Division's initiative to increase their service members' fitness. Army Sergeant Jonathan Norris explains how.
Service members from across the Korean Peninsula participated in a unique training event at the Collier Community Fitness Center at USAG Yongsan.
Well, today we're hosting a Level 1 CrossFit Certification, which means that if you come to the certification and you pass the exam and all the physical challenges, then you are qualified to instruct CrossFit at a CrossFit gym.
Soldiers needed 1-year retainability in Korea and an Army physical fitness test score of 300 to qualify for the CrossFit instructor course. Second Lieutenant Ryan Toll believes CrossFit can give soldiers an extra advantage.
I think CrossFit is going to help people, especially in the military, not only maintain their level of fitness to fight tonight and to perform the mission, but to be happy with themselves.
The instructors came from across the globe to provide the in-depth class and train the trainers.
I think it's great because they've encompassed everything. They've talked about the fundamentals of fitness, what is what, how to do those movements. They started to talk about nutrition today, and they're bringing it all together so that everyone can understand, no matter if you've never been exposed to it or if you're proficient at it and have a great fitness background. It's been a great course so far.
Get ready, Korea. New CrossFit instructors are coming your way. Army Sergeant Jonathan Norris, Yongsan, Korea.
60 service members from across the Korean Peninsula attended the Level 1 CrossFit certification course. Showcasing your talent and hard work is important for anyone in any job. Senior Airman Brayton Metzger visits the weapons load crews at Osan Air Base during their quarterly load competition.
For weapons load airmen, doing their job comes down to one thing.
Without weapons, it's just another airline.
The base holds a quarterly competition to see which crews are the best. This quarter, Senior Airman Faith Richards is taking part in that competition.
Every crew goes to load barn and we have to stay certified on certain munitions. The ones who are chosen are the ones with the least errors and then also in the least amount of time. So it's kind of a competition in itself to go to the bigger competition.
Being selected is just the first step. Just preparing for the load competition is a lot of work, and it's not just practicing loading. It's all about being well-rounded.
Leading up to that Friday, we had to do a lot of preparation. It goes all the way from your toolbox, goes from that to your uniform. Your uniform has to be, even as maintainers, has to still look good and crisp and, clean. And then it goes from there to taking a test, your overall knowledge of your job.
So before any weapons are even picked up, the airmen participating must get inspected, tested, and inspected again. However, competitions like this aren't just for show.
It's going to be the same nerves if something crazy, unfortunately, were to pop off. You know, we're going to have to be able to do it quickly and efficiently without any errors. So that's the big pictures. We want to be able to push ourselves to be able to do everything as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
At the end of the day, regardless of who wins, the crews share a handshake and prepare for the next day of work. Senior Airman Brayden Metzger, Osan Air Base, Korea.
The 75th Expeditionary Fighter Squadron took first place in the competition, while Senior Airman Richard's crew took home second place. For some soldiers and their families, moving to a foreign country and a new unit can be a difficult process. Army Sergeant Sean McGuire tells us how one unit prepares its soldiers for integration into Korea.
In processing, CIF, finance, and medical. They are all part of the process.
This is basically a one-stop shop, all right? Like PCSing in the States, like I said, you have to go through a bunch of different places just to get all your in-processing stuff done. Finances in one building, updating your SGLIs in a different building. Here, it's all done in one place.
Instead of going through a number of different facilities, the 2nd Infantry Division does all this in one location at the Warrior Readiness Center on Camp Hovey.
It's been pretty much on point. The cadre dictate, tell us what we need to do, let us know what information we need to know for the next day. So it's been pretty effective, so to say.
The cadre at this facility also prepares soldiers for an easy transition to life in the local community.
We hope that they'll leave here not only with a better understanding of what they're going to see when they get to their units, but also a better understanding of Korea in general, all right? We want them to understand the culture, the beliefs here, and some of the things that are a little bit different than being stationed in the United States. Laboratory on KC is super easy.
It's my first time being out the country, but it's a new culture experience, and for my leaders around me, they've already been here for a while, so I know they'll show me the way around Korea.
The 2nd Infantry Division processes all of its soldiers at the Warrior Readiness Center to provide soldiers with a smooth transition into their new units and life in Korea. Army Sergeant Sean McGuire, Camp Hovey, Korea.
During in-processing, the cadre will take the soldiers on a one-day trip to Seoul to get acquainted with the local culture before departing to their units. Petroleum Supply Operations Specialists, or 92 Foxes, conducted a peninsula-wide exercise to highlight their occupation. Army Sergeant Matt Waymeyer traveled to Kunsan Air Base to see this training.
Cover down, outstanding. How you doing as well? Without fuel, there's no movement. Without movement, there's no victory. The 501st Sustainment Brigade champions taught service members and Korean service corpsmen how to win on the front lines.
This really gets at the heart of why we exist as a brigade. Gets us ready to prepare for war with an important commodity on the battlefield, and that's fuel.
The unit gave instruction on 7 different fuel systems that can be used in combat.
To make sure that the NCOs are pushing the training down to the soldiers, we have the soldiers also giving classes. So we know that everyone is being taught efficient POL training.
We're the ones that are going to be there at each point and then have people at the pump. It's good to get hands-on. You know, you're instructing the newer soldiers on how to use the equipment, so that way they have a better working knowledge as opposed to being in the classroom where they're just looking at slideshows. Here they get hands-on and they'll be able to pass on the information when they reach the leadership position.
The 501st needed 4 months to prepare not only the training area and equipment, but also the instructors for a potentially tough crowd.
You know, they're talking to an audience that's strictly fuelers. So it's a more challenging audience since we all should have an idea of what they're talking about, so we know that they're knowledgeable. It's been interesting.
Army Sergeant Matt Waymeyer, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Some of the fuel systems taught were the tank and pump unit, the forward area refueling point, and the refuel on the move system. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, August 16th. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
I'm General J.D. Johnson here with Command Sergeant Major Harris, and we want to talk to you about command sponsorship. 8th Army and Korea are great places to serve, and there are opportunities for you to bring your family to Korea. Together you'll experience a unique assignment here in the heart of Asia.
For more information on the 8th Army Command Sponsorship Program, visit the 8th Army website or your Unit S1.
Welcome to 8th Army. We're excited you're joining the team. Pacific Victors.